Hey tribe, Future Sally here. Hope you're having an amazing and fascinating day. I know I am. In this video that you're about to watch, we're gonna hop back to Glacier National Park and say goodbye. We had a lovely time the previous day on the Red Bus Tour. That video is in the Montana playlist. Go ahead and catch that if you haven't seen it already. That was a lot of fun. We just had a whole lot of fun all last travel season, actually. But today, it's time to say goodbye to Montana, goodbye to Glacier, and we're heading over to Great Falls, Montana, where we do mundane things like get an oil change, which, as it turns out, wasn't necessary. Watch the video and you'll see why. And we visited Great Springs, which was one of the stops on the Lewis and Clark expedition. And one of the very cool things at Great Springs is that it is the place where they found out that the Great Experiment didn't really work out the way that they wanted it to. That all had to do with an iron frame boat. So, without further ado, let's roll the intro and get right into this. Thanks for being here.
Wake up with the sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need for goodbyes. Journey calls, let's roll the dice. Every mile a new surprise.
We are saying goodbye to Loop C of the campground here at, where are we? Glacier National Park.
In a quarter mile, turn right.
And on our way out, I keep having trouble with my inside camera. On our way out, we're going to stop at the dump station and fill up with fresh water, and then we'll be good to go. And we probably don't necessarily even need to do either of those things, but we have the opportunity. And when we have the opportunity, it's a good idea to take advantage of it. So as you can see, this campground is kind of tight. I think the biggest thing I've seen in here has been about 32 feet.
In a quarter mile, turn right.
And a surprising number of tent campers. Oops, just dragged a bunch of bushes down the side. So yeah, I mean, this is a tight campground, and as you can see here, all of the sites at the far end are very unlevel. And in fact, our site was unlevel as well. We were able to get level enough. I've seen quite a few rooftop tents while we've been here. We've been here for 4 nights. We originally booked for 3, and then we extended for 1 more. $15 a night with the senior or access pass. And it was just so beautiful here, and you could walk to the visitor center. It was just about a half a mile away. They had ranger talks every night, although we did not attend any of them because they start at 7:30, and that's when the bugs start coming out. So we missed all of that. But all in all, a lovely stay. And tonight we're sleeping in a Sam's Club parking lot. Woohoo! Oh, there's somebody using the group area. Wow, they got a bunch of tents set up. Nice. Nice to see that in use. And it's really very gratifying to see how many people are still tent camping. There's another rooftop tent. If it weren't for my fear of heights, that could be kind of a good alternative. I'm thinking to myself, why am I so cold? Because it's cold out. It is, according to Henry, it's 52 degrees, but he was sitting facing the sun all this time. I think we might still be in the 40s. It was 39 when we got up this morning. High today is supposed to be 85 where we're going. I think here it's supposed to be 75 or 77.
Turn right.
Lots of good hiking in the area. And we did the Red Bus tour, which will be its own separate video. Check that one out. If you don't know about the red buses, It's pretty fascinating. They, the fleet's been running since the early 1900s. The current fleet has been running since the 1930s. And they've been able to keep, I think, 32 or 33 buses here maintained. All of the other big parks that were doing the bus fleets like this for tours had stopped doing them. And then Yellowstone has started again, so we're going to see if we can get on a yellow bus tour at Yellowstone when we get there. Alright, we're almost out here to the dump station. Oh, listen, everybody else, I guess this will take a few minutes. Okay, so we'll be waiting. I think I'm going to have to put in a SpongeBob transition here for 1 hour later. Yeah. That's how long it took to get water and dump for both of us. Actually, it was dump and then get water. There was no flush for the dump. And the water came out at a trickle. Just at a trickle. So between the two of us getting water, that took an hour. And we have, ooh, a 2.5 hour drive. Awesome sauce. And I know I'm probably going to get hungry in the not too distant future. Oh, and I didn't pull Kit's sunshade down on the window. Oh, I'm just all kinds of messed up. And the windshield's pretty dirty outside. I think I might take a little swipe at cleaning that. The good news is we don't need to get gas today until we get to Sam's Club. And actually, I guess we'll get it in the morning because we'll have time to do that. So our first stop today will be at Take 5 at the south end of Great Falls. Oops, I'm speeding. Let's not be speeding. Google thinks the speed limit on this road is 70 miles an hour. Obviously, the Park Service thinks it's 25 miles an hour. Visitor Center is busy again. Parking there is almost impossible. I was glad it was only a half a mile walk from the campsite that we were in. And it was a lovely walk. Part of it went through the forest. We went over the river. It was beautiful, right, Kit? Okay, so let's just recap where we are today. It is now 58 degrees outside according to Henry. It is 10:05 a.m. on August the 23rd. We are saying goodbye to Glacier, and we are really close to Canada up here. I didn't really realize how close to Canada we are. We are heading south and west, generally, from here on out.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto US 89 South.
No hiker-biker at Mini Glacier. I guess that's good to know. There goes a red bus. As I said earlier, we did the red bus tour the other day and it was just awesome. So the good news, bad news is that we have to retrace our steps that we took to get in here. We gotta go up Route 89, well, down Route 89 because we're heading south, but it's uphill for quite a ways. And I doubt that I'm going to record much of this,
Continue on US 89 South for 14 miles.
simply because I recorded a lot of it coming down. But it's going to look very different going up. So I guess I'll record and we'll see what makes it into this video. How about that? Miles from Browning. Oh, it's going to take us back on Star School Road back to Browning again before we do something else. You can see some of the leaves are starting to change color already. I think that's mostly on cottonwood trees. And although it seems a bit early, the buckeye trees that we used to have in Tehachapi were always the first thing to bloom in spring and the first thing to turn color. And they turned in August, sometimes in July they'd start turning. So I guess it's not terribly unusual. And it does kind of point out just how stunning the colors might be in the fall. But so will the cold weather. And it was 39 degrees when I woke up this morning. That's too cold for me. And this guy wants to go fast uphill with his fifth wheel. Go, dude. Make sure you can keep that speed up, though. Don't make me have to pass you. Look at that peak up there. I changed the position of the inside-facing camera this morning to put it more directly in the center of the windshield. We'll see how that works. That turnout is very cool. There's some sculptures there and a path that winds down and gives you a view of St. Mary's Lake. Look at that view. It might actually have been better coming down from the heading north downhill in terms of the view. So I think I'm going to stop jabbering here and pick you up again later. I guess I should also mention that our red bus tour took us on this part. This was part of our red bus tour route as well, and I really preferred having somebody else do the driving. It was very nice. I'm really hopeful that we're going to be able to get a yellow bus tour in Yellowstone. I was also hoping I was going to be in a position to try and sort through when we might get there tonight, but I don't think I am. In Browning, and the sign says turn right here to go to East Glacier, which I guess would take you to Two Medicines. So we kind of saw that part of the road when we were on the red bus tour. So we're turning left, so we're still retracing our steps from getting to Glacier. And we've still got 129 miles to get to Take 5 for our oil change. This will be my third oil change since the end of March. So third oil change in 5 months. Is that right? Yeah. That's a lot of driving, guys. And hopefully this will be my last oil change until I get to the south end of Arizona down into Yuma this winter. Hopefully. We'll see. Might have to do it one more time. We are saying goodbye to US 2 and sticking with US 69 as we head for Great Falls, which is where we'll be today. And then tomorrow, Gates of the Mountain. Woohoo! Okay, we're switching over to Montana Route 44, and we passed a sign that said we'll be on the Lewis and Clark Trail for 32 miles. Motorcyclists should consider alternate routes because of road construction on Montana 44. And I'm going to be looking for an opportunity to take a break, which there's a town in like 14 miles, so maybe then. Oh, and then we're going to get freeway in 28 miles on I-15 South. I don't think I've ever been this far north. I know I've never been this far north on I-15. So that'll be fun. And we still have 99 miles to go to our destination. Does it look like we're anywhere near water? Nope, certainly doesn't look like it to me, but looking at the map, it appears that just over this rise is what looks to be a pretty good sized lake. And yet we're seeing none of it. I'm not seeing a name show up on the map yet for what lake it is. Lake Francis. Alrighty. No idea how big it really is. But it seems kind of sizable. And, oh, it looks like a little lighthouse up ahead here. I wonder if there's a parking lot there we can pull into, because I'm really ready to take a break. Okay, well this is Valier, and we're going to see if we can find a place to pull over and eat. And I think I'm going to do it right here. Well, we stopped at a defunct bar and grill here and just had breakfast. So now it's time to get going. We still got 86 miles to go to get to our oil change. But that's okay. So we're going to just
Head northwest on Montana 44 West.
get on down the road.
Then turn right onto Nomad.
Google seems to be confused about exactly where I am in space and time. So we are still in, what's it called, Valier?
Continue on Montana 44 East. 15
Yeah. There's the public library. 15 miles, we're going to be on the freeway. Oh, they got a car wash. Might have been able to fit into that car wash. Of course, it had cones up in front of it, so I guess it's not open for business. $3.49 here for unleaded. It's $3.21, I think, at Sam's Club this afternoon. Apparently the price of gas is rising. Curries, groceries, meats, deli. Nice little mural there. Alright, here we go now. Well, we've been bombing along on pretty much arrow straight Montana Route 44. And now we're going to get on I-15 South. I think this is the first time we will have been on a freeway for a really long time. I can't remember the last time we were on a freeway actually on an interstate. Huh. But, as I always say, if you've seen one freeway, you've seen them all. So we'll pick you up down the road a bit. Well, looky here. We're seeing signs of civilization. We're still 6 miles from our exit. And we are going to go to the Lewis and Clark Interpretive Center at the Giant Springs State Park today after we get an oil change. We're going to go park my RV at Sam's Club. Then we're going to go do fun stuff. Yep. But first, an oil change, which is at the south end of town. And fortunately, we'll be backtracking like I think a total of about 3.5 miles to get to Sam's Club, and then it's a couple of miles to the state park, and a couple of miles back to Sam's Club. So, all in all, not bad. Although you may not be able to see it, we are right now crossing the Missouri River. It won't be the only time. The business district over to the left is kind of interesting looking. I wonder if we're going to go back through that way to get to the Sam's Club. We're still a mile from the Take 5, but hey, making progress. I know this will be the third time since we started summer travels at the end of March, but I know I did it in New Hampshire last fall, but I don't know if I think that was it. I think I did it in New Hampshire, and then I did it in March. And I think I was probably overdue a bit both of those times. The theoretical oil change interval is 7,500 miles, but with the kind of duty that, you know, we put the rigs through, the recommendation is better at 5,000 miles, and there are still a lot of people that want to see you do it at like 3,000, which is totally old school and completely unnecessary, I believe. But 5,000-ish seems appropriate to me. That's my story. Alright, now I looked at this on Google Maps and I could not figure out where the Take 5 actually is located. Well, that was very tight in Take 5, as they always seem to be. They honored the windshield wiper warranty from the last place that I had it done, which was in Nevada, but I'm starting to get streaks already, and you know, I paid premium price for the windshield wiper blade, so I'm going to take advantage of the warranty. So Barb is just now getting in, and there's really not enough room for me to be able to sit there and wait without potentially blocking traffic. So I'm going to go ahead and go meet her over at Sam's Club. And then we're going to go have fun. Now, the thing that I realized when I pulled up my previous receipt is that when I looked at it the first time and decided I needed to change my oil, I don't know what number I was looking at, but it had only been like 2,500 miles. So I didn't really need to change my oil. On the other hand, I really don't feel bad about doing it, because you know, it helps to keep your engine clean. Keeping your engine clean keeps it running well, all that stuff. But I really won't do it for 5,000 miles this time, which will have me at over 50,000. That's why I was having a little difficulty with the time calculation. I think it seemed more soon than it needed to be.
Continue on 10th Avenue South for 3/4 of a mile.
So we're going to head on over to Sam's Club, and we'll wait there for Barb, and then we get to go have some fun. So Google is doing what Google does and taking me what it considers to be the most fuel efficient route, which oftentimes turns out not to be the most beautiful route. I get to see a lot of the industrial parts of these little towns, and that's cool. Actually, I kind of like it. And in part, I think because it harkens back to what a fun time I had in Joliet, Illinois. I think that was 2 years ago. there's the History Museum on the left coming up here. Oh, but it looks like we're going to go along the river, maybe? Maybe.
Turn left on 3rd Avenue South, then turn right onto River Drive South.
Okay. Well, this looks like it might turn out to be an interesting route for a change. Well, we're only 2 miles from Sam's Club, and there's the Missouri River over there on our left. I'm not sure you're getting a good view of it. And we are coming into the historic district, so that's pretty cool. That's definitely an old railroad bridge above us. No longer in service, I believe. Yeah, getting me out of that take 5 was so tight I had to back out, which is pretty typical, that I had to pull my mirror in. Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul Railway over there to the right. Pretty interesting looking building. So we're crossing the Missouri River again. Won't be the last time for the day, I'm sure. But this is kind of a cool looking building over here on the right. Modern, but still kind of cool looking. And the entry to the railway bridge was cool looking. Okay. Temperature's up to 78 degrees here. Not too bad. What do you think, baby boy? Can I get the receipts in the basket? I can. Yay. This is the first take 5 that's given me a bottle of water. Oh, which they get from Sam's Club. That's cute. Since we're on our way to Sam's Club. I had read reviews from one of them that said that they did give you water, but might have been the last one I went to, but they didn't give me water then. Uh-oh, Buffalo Wild Wings. But it's not Tuesday, so we don't need to go there. I am now. Look at how beautiful this is. This is the Missouri River. We are coming into a Lewis and Clark Interpretive Center at Giant Springs State Park in Great Falls, Montana. I'm having difficulty with all these superlatives. We've got great and giant and big. Oh, we're going to the big hole eventually. All of these big things. It's big things, right, kid? But the river is just beautiful. All right, this is it. Giant Springs. Lewis and Clark Explorer Discovery Expedition first documented these springs on June 18, 1805. Of course, Native American tribes had been following the buffalo through this area and camped here. It says the water stays at a consistent 54 degrees all year long, and that the park prospered during the Great Depression in the 30s because of major reconstruction projects done by the WPA. In 1970, Giant Springs Park was transferred from the city of Great Falls to the state of Montana and became Giant Springs State Park. Sure is pretty. And then just under the bridge is the Roe River, which at 201 feet is the shortest river. And it flows into the Missouri, which is the longest river. Go figure. Let's just take a walk around. Over 150 million gallons of water flow from Giant Springs every day and cascade into the Missouri River. The springs occur where cracks in the rocks above the Madison limestone allow water to leak upward to the land surface, similar to a leak in a hose where the water under pressure will exit upwards through the overlying opening. Waters of the spring have been tested and found to be very pure. However, it's not advisable to drink the water directly from the springs because birds and other animals live in and use the water. 200 years ago, William Clark's description said, "The largest fountain or spring I have ever saw, and doubt if it is not the largest in America. This water boils up from under the rocks near the edge of the river and falls immediately into the river 8 feet and keeps its color for a while, which is immensely clear and of a bluish cast." And look at all the beautiful greenery down there as well. Pretty cool. No swimming or fishing in the springs. Good thing they got a railing up around it here, huh? Yeah, that's just beautiful. Super, super clear. And so from here, it's flowing out directly into the Missouri. But from there, it flows down into the Roe and then into the Missouri. I am just astonished at just how clear the water is. How clear is the water, Kit? Don't go for a swim, dude. Okay. Let's walk back along this way. Is pretty. Yeah, and all of the little Missouri River that we saw is so much less impressive than the actual Missouri River. Look at this. Just look at it.